Welcome to Bite-Sized Folklore, short episodes with long shadows. I'm Jodie, and today we set sail into the stormy waters off Scotland's northwest coast, into a strait known as the Minch. It's a place where the sea feels ancient, where the wind carries whispers in a language older than memory, and where, if the legends are true, something blue stirs beneath the waves. These are the blue men of the Minch, sea spirits, tricksters, and tempters. And today I'm going to be telling you all about them. Between the Isle of Lewis and mainland Scotland lies the Minch, a deep, narrow stretch of water notorious for rough weather, shifting tides, and sudden storms. For centuries, Hebridean fishmen have told of strange encounters in these waters. Tall, blue-skinned men, human in shape, but otherworldly in presence. Known in Gaelic as na Fir Gorma, the blue men are said to live in underwater caves and emerge only when the sea is restless. They swim alongside boats, climb onto decks, and most unusually, they speak in riddles, in rhymes, and your answer might determine whether you live or whether you drown. But don't confuse them with selkies or mermaids. The blue men are not looking for love. They're looking for a contest, a challenge of wit. One of the most well-known tales of the Blue Men of the Minch comes from Donald A. Mackenzie. He's a folklorist who wrote in the early 20th century. A merchant ship was making its way through the Minch, the sails straining under a sullen sky. The wind had dropped, and the air was thick. There was that heavy, waiting kind of silence that sailors learn to fear. Suddenly, a voice rose from the water, low and lyrical. Man of the black cap, what do you say as your proud ship cleaves the brine? The captain, understanding the danger, and perhaps knowing the tales, didn't hesitate. He leaned over the railing and called out, "My speedy ship takes the shortest way, and I'll follow you line by line." But the blue man wasn't done. My men are eager, my men are ready to drag you below the waves. And the captain, bold as brass, answered back, "My ship is speedy, my ship is steady. If it sank, it would wreck your caves." There was silence. The sea grew still. Then, with a splash, the blue men vanished. The storm never came, and the ship passed safely into open waters. That's how the stories go. If you catch the blue men's rhyme, you win your life. If you falter, you'll be dragged into the depths. Another tale, recorded in Superstitions of the Highlands and Islands by John Gregerson Campbell, tells of a rare event, the capture of a blue man. A crew of fishermen were out during a rare calm. The sea was like glass. As they drifted, they saw something lying on the surface. A man, blue-skinned, breathing slow as if he was asleep on the water. They rowed closer, quietly, carefully, and they roped him in. They pulled him into their boat. His skin was cold and his lips were blue, but he didn't wake. Then the sea began to stir. Two figures appeared in the water, swimming toward the boat. Other blue men. One called out, "Duncan will be one." The other answered, "Donald will be two." Before the fisherman could make sense of it, the captive sat bolt upright. His eyes burned like salt fire. With a snap, the ropes fell from him like spider thread. He stood, soaking and furious, and he bellowed, "Ian Moore has no need of help." Then he dove overboard, gone in a heartbeat. The sea calmed, the other two disappeared, and the fishermen, They went straight home and told no one for weeks. When they finally did, the village didn't laugh. They just nodded. So where do the blue men come from? One theory suggests they're a fading memory of Norse raiders. They were tattooed or painted warriors seen from the shore, misunderstood as sea spirits. Others claim they're descended from gods of Ireland and the Highlands, driven underground or underwater. A more spiritual take says that they're falling angels. Not evil enough for hell, but cast into the sea to roam forever. And yet, unlike meadows or sirens or selkies, there are no close parallels to the blue men in Celtic folklore. Their love of rhyme and challenge is unusual. Their behaviour half playful, half deadly, even more so. And they seem to be entirely local to the waters around the Isle of Lewis. That makes them one of Scotland's most unique supernatural traditions. The blue men haven't been seen, or at least spoken of, very much in the modern day, but their stories survive in the voices of sailors, in the lines of old books, and in the mists that roll off the Minch when the weather turns. Some locals still say if the sea goes strangely still, if the fog moves against the wind, you might hear a voice call from under the water. Man of the black cap, what do you say? And if you do, be ready with a rhyme. It might just save your life. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Bite-Sized Folklore. If you enjoyed this deeper dive into the myths of the sea, please follow the show, leave a review and share it with a friend. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and watch the waves.